Arriba,
abajo,
abajo,
al centro, pa' dentro.
adentro.
We're Mika and Reggie, camping newbies intrigued by the RV lifestyle. He's the concrete camper.
Who loves concrete pads, manicured lawns, and beautiful views.
And I'm the concrete glamper. I love campsite decor, and more is more. On the weekends, we've moved from the couch to camping. And as Southerners, we always tow our hospitality and charm as we chase the sun, sand, and sea
In our RV.
Greetings, concrete campers and glampers. Happy New Year!
We are back with another episode, and I think previously we had kind of given you guys an update of where we are, what was going on, and we wanted to go ahead and follow back up with you guys. So last time we were letting you know we were alive, present, and
Proof
here.
of life.
Yeah, proof of life. Beautiful. But we are back and definitely getting back in the swing of things, but we wanted to share our latest adventure. Now, this was non-RV related, but it was still a adventure and an opportunity to travel. And so we took Southern Ethos Life International.
It was our first trip post-pandemic, and we went to Mexico. It was all part of a 50th anniversary celebration for my parents and a number of family members, and so it was really fantastic. And so we thought we would take you along and share with you some of our experiences at the resort that we stayed at. And so in this video, we're going to share with you the resort itself, give you some of our insights of our experience there, and then we will end off with sort of our review, as we like to say here, our 3 ups and 3 downs about the experience.
So let's go ahead and get into our past adventure. So we went international, and where did we go, Mika?
We went to the Haven Rivera in Cancun, and we had a fantastic time. We took the sun, sand, and sea to Mexico. Or shall I say we chased the sun, sand, and sea to Mexico.
Okay, we'll work with that. But as Mika said, it was really for a celebration of Mr. Bobby, with friends of the channel. You all know who Mr. Bobby is, and his beautiful wife, Terry, Miss Terry. So, yeah, celebrating 50 years of marriage, right?
Yeah, and so the trip itself was uneventful. Being on a plane, you know, all the things, going through customs. It had been a while since we had been to Mexico. It was really one of our favorite places pre-pandemic. We've gone multiple times, but it was our first time visiting this particular hotel. And so I would say from the moment we stepped onto the property, even driving up, the property itself was just gorgeous. It's picturesque. It gives you all the vibes that you're looking for to say, hey, I am on vacation, I am somewhere tropical, and I intend to relax and exhale.
Come along with us and see what we saw, and hopefully enjoy as much as we did.
At this particular resort, there were various options from a room selection. We did do the Serenity Club, and as such, we did have the opportunity when we arrived. The check-in process is different. That Serenity Club provided a few more perks in terms of access to specialty restaurants, specifically for Serenity Club members, pools, and then there were some small little touches in the rooms in terms of there was a beach bag and beach towels they provide for you. They provided you some alcohol in your room when you arrive, depending on your choice. the room that we selected prior to arrival was a beachfront Serenity Club level room. And on first impression,
it was beautiful when you walked in, and you'll see in some of the pictures here. When you walk in, it was nothing but the beach.
Yeah.
You walk straight in. It was breathtaking view, literally from your bed. So that on its first face value was outstanding.
Amazing.
Balcony. You had a jacuzzi that was out on the balcony. Mm-hmm. You could really just take in the beach without leaving the bed, leaving your balcony, leaving your room. Of course, that's not where we're there, but you could do it honestly and just wake up to sunrises and go to bed to sunsets. It was extraordinary from the viewpoint.
And that was really one of my favorite pieces of this entire experience, because I am a sunrise person, and I always feel this need of like, hey, you have to get up from every second that the sun wants to start peeking over the horizon, that you need to jump out of your room and go outside. And so having the room that we had, a couple of the mornings, I was able to just enjoy that sunrise from the comforts of the bed, and that was just really spectacular. And then other mornings, I did choose up and actually physically go out to the beach, and so that was just really, it made it more restful in terms of you didn't feel like you were always up against a clock or an itinerary. I need to do this, I need to do that. Yeah. But that being said, I would say the one negative point is we ended up having to switch rooms after night one. From the moment we walked in, I smelled a hint of mildew after a full night's stay and us waking up, and we were starting to get symptoms of that exposure. As a result of that, we had to switch rooms. And so that was definitely a downer for the trip.
Yeah, but they were pretty hospitable, mm-hmm. easy to work with, and they understood. So in transition, it was going to take a couple hours, so I think we decided we'll go ahead and hang out at her parents' room, which they had an awesome view, and also they had a swim out pool. So I decided to take full advantage of that while I was waiting to exchange and upgrade our room. Yeah.
Welcome to my yard.
We got a cab waiting on us, so. Yeah. Life is good. Six is home. I have no room. One of the things that I think was a challenge for us, well, a challenge for me, I'll just say, it was some of the food.
Yeah, I mean, we have experiences with all-inclusive. You know, you're not expecting 5-star dining just by nature of all-inclusives. And there's kind of a parameter of expectations. And we did a lot of research, and going in based off of that research, I did have higher expectations for the food for an all-inclusive. Right. And I would say there was never a lack of food.
No, there's plenty of food. It's just maybe the quality of the food, the taste of the food. Room service was 24/7. I took advantage of that. But it just seemed...
Nothing really stood out other than, I would say, the private dinner that we had for the anniversary and the Asian restaurant. The Asian restaurant, I would fly back to Mexico to eat at that restaurant again.
Which is wild, right? You got to go to Mexico for great Asian infusion kind of food, but it was
hands down the best. So if you are planning to visit the Haven Riviera, absolutely make sure that you make reservations at the Asian restaurant. There was not a single meal, a single bite that just was not fantastic. And not only that we feel that, like the entire group felt like by far that was the best restaurant in food on property.
Yeah, the ambiance was there, the service was there, and the food quality was outstanding. They had a lot of different pools, you know, and with it being geared towards adults only, you could really take in some of the time and enjoy yourself with other fellow adults.
And the ambiance, I would say, from, the palm trees and the lush greenery outside of the hotel to the cabanas around the pool. You didn't have to pay for any upgrades to get the different types of cabanas, whether it's at the pool. They had some similar options at the beach. And like the beach bed setups, and they had full service at the beach where you can order drinks and water. And so that was really nice. And I think all of that helped contribute to how relaxing this trip was.
It truly was an unplug, relax opportunity for us.
Surprise, surprise, I did pack decor and take it to Mexico. But in my defense, I was supporting the vision of my mother that it just did not make sense. It's perhaps ridiculous this sounds, guys. It just did not make sense to pay the prices for some of the small touches that we wanted whether either we had it or it was just easier to make a little space in a suitcase for some decorative napkins. I could buy $15 worth of decorative napkins to set the table versus $250. So I would say, in my defense, by my mother and I making a little bit of room in our suitcases, we probably saved anywhere from $500 to $800. Just because venues, when you do things privately, there's an upcharge for everything. And so there were some small touches that she wanted, and I was very, very happy to oblige that. And in addition to that, we wanted some additional touches of a gift bag. We did some personalized items, some things that my parents wanted to do to show their appreciation, some notes. And so that was just a little touch just to make the evening festive. But the goal of the trip in that evening was just really to celebrate my parents and to bring a smile to their faces. And I would say, sitting here today, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Happy anniversary!
Arriba,
Arriba,
abajo,
abajo,
al centro,
al centro,
pa' adentro.
adentro.
Oh, great.
So to wrap things up and to share what we oftentimes do when we do other RV trips, we'll say what our 3 ups and 3 downs are. I would go first and say my first up, of course, is just the family time that we were able to spend. We hadn't seen some family members or been able to expend this amount of time with them in a very, very long time. So that was refreshing. It was just tons of fun, a lot of laughter, and a lot of celebration.
Yeah. I would say my up was just the ability to relax. Literally, because they do have like quiet areas. Now, you do have some people that are really getting it in, so to speak. But I mean, overall, just the opportunity to unplug and just relax and take it at your own pace. And then even when you're traveling with groups, everyone was able to kind of go off to their own and do what they wanted to do, and just meet up for dinner. So
and different things, but
I was just I just enjoyed the time being able to unplug and just let loose.
And not worry about your tow capacity or your weight or switching lanes or backing in or leveling or wind.
That's a good point. It's I guess everybody definitely, when you're in the RV life and enjoying your RV, that's not the only vacation. But for me, I haven't traveled like that, like I said, since the pandemic. So this was my first trip since 2020, actually getting on a plane and engaging in the airport. So it's been a minute for me. But, like riding a bike, you get back on it and it just comes back to you.
And then I would say the third up is the vision, the beauty, the vibe of the resort. It really was gorgeous. I mean, it's definitely stunning to look at if you're into photos or just the ambiance itself of that you're in the Caribbean, that you're on vacation, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's good to get your IG on. Do it for the gram.
do it for the gram. There was a lot of opportunities.
You could do it for the gram. And then I guess for me some downs. Unfortunately, it would be the food. Just the flavors. Like for me, I just had this expectation of you're going to Mexico, I'm going to get, some really authentic, good flavored food, and it just kind of fell flat for me.
And we love Mexican food, so maybe that's just our own internal, hey, we know it's all-inclusive, but we still had higher expectations on some of the food offerings that were there.
Right,
so.
And especially around just like the seafood and things like that that were offered. Just expected a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that's me.
And then I would say beach would be my second down, just because although I was able to sit there, 70-degree weather, amazing. You could sit out at the beach all day, and I did with a good book. It was amazing. I just really wish that the water was just a little bit clearer and more blue and less seaweed, because it just did impact. You always knew the seaweed was there. It wasn't encroaching, but it was there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I guess third down for me would be the condition of the resort. The resort.
The maintenance needed.
We did have to change rooms, which, honestly, it's a pain, because we were excited. We got there, you unpack, you get your stuff put away, and it's like, yeah, we're going to have to do this again.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. And I thought it was a little bit newer than what we thought.
Yeah, I mean, in the pictures, I'm not going to say they were deceiving. I just think on a closer look on things, and not like we're looking for something. Right. And this was some feedback that only in our group, other folks would share as well, that it's definitely time, and they were doing some things, but it's definitely time for them to refresh and update a few more places, just because we understand being on the Caribbean, being on the water, it's brutal. It has a wear and tear, and I think it's definitely time for this resort to refresh a few things. But other than that, it was a really lovely experience. In December, you can't beat 75-degree weather with a little bit of humidity, because when we landed back, we were greeted with boom. A burst of Arctic air, rainy, cold, and so that was very, very sobering.
Yeah, but I mean, we're fortunate, we're blessed, and we're thankful for the opportunity to be able to travel and have had this experience, especially with family and friends, and just being able to take that time away.
So with that, we will wrap things up on our latest adventure. And until next time, we'll continue to chase the sun, sand, and sea with or without
Our RV.